Your heart doesn't suddenly become unhealthy one morning. For most people, the process is much quieter. It happens through small habits, the extra hour sitting on the couch, the salty meal you eat several times a week, the sleep you keep sacrificing, the blood pressure you haven't checked in months, and the warning signs you keep telling yourself are just part of getting older. But here's the part many people don't realize. Getting older and having an unhealthy heart are not the same thing. Your heart will naturally change as you age, but many factors that influence cardiovascular health are connected to things you can actually change. And some of those habits may be so normal that you don't even recognize them as potential problems. Today, we're going to look at 7 everyday habits that may work against your cardiovascular health after 50. And I'm not going to tell you to completely change your life overnight. Instead, I'll show you why each habit matters and what you can do differently. Stay until number 1, because it's not a food, it's not smoking, and it's not something most people expect. It's a habit that can quietly influence several other heart health factors at the same time. Let's begin. Number 7, spending too much of the day sitting. Think about yesterday. How many hours did you spend sitting? You probably sat while eating breakfast. Then you sat in the car, you sat at work, you sat while watching television, you sat while scrolling through your phone, and perhaps you ended the day sitting again. None of those individual moments seems dangerous. That's the problem. They add up. Our bodies are designed to move. When you walk, your muscles contract, your circulation changes, your cardiovascular system responds, your body uses energy. But when you remain seated for long periods, you lose many of those benefits. Research has consistently associated high amounts of sedentary behavior with poorer cardiovascular outcomes. And here's an important distinction. You can exercise for 30 minutes every morning and still spend the other 10 or 12 waking hours barely moving. That's why daily movement matters. In addition to structured exercise, you don't need to become a marathon runner. You can start much smaller, stand up regularly, walk around your home, take a short walk after dinner. Use the stairs when practical, walk while talking on the phone, park a little farther away, do household chores. These movements may seem insignificant, but they're opportunities to interrupt long periods of inactivity. And after 50, those opportunities become increasingly valuable because maintaining muscle strength and physical function is an important part of healthy aging. Here's a simple strategy. Don't think, I need to exercise for an hour. Think, I need to move for 5 minutes. 5 minutes of walking, 5 minutes of stretching, 5 minutes of household movement, then do it again later. The goal is to make movement automatic, because the best exercise program isn't necessarily the most complicated one. It's the one you'll actually keep doing. And if you're currently inactive, don't suddenly begin intense exercise without considering your health status. If you have heart disease, significant symptoms, or other medical conditions, talk with your healthcare professional about an appropriate activity level. The objective is progress, not punishment. Number 6, ignoring your blood pressure. Now we come to something much more difficult to notice. High blood pressure. The reason it can be so dangerous is that many people don't feel anything unusual. You can wake up, go to work, eat dinner, watch television, go to sleep, and still have elevated blood pressure. That's why hypertension is often described as a silent condition. Over time, consistently elevated blood pressure can put extra stress on your blood vessels and heart. Your heart has to work harder to move blood through the circulatory system, and your blood vessels are exposed to greater pressure. This is one reason knowing your numbers matters. Don't wait until you feel sick to check your blood pressure. If you have access to a reliable home monitor, learn how to measure it correctly. Sit quietly beforehand. Keep your back supported. Keep your feet flat on the floor. Support your arm. Use the correct cuff size. And take readings under consistent conditions. One unusual reading doesn't necessarily tell you everything. What matters is the pattern. If your readings are repeatedly elevated, discuss them with a qualified healthcare professional. And if you've already been diagnosed with hypertension, don't stop prescribed medication simply because you feel fine. Feeling normal doesn't necessarily mean blood pressure is controlled. As we age, the risk of hypertension tends to increase. That's one reason regular monitoring becomes increasingly important. But here's the encouraging part. Blood pressure is one of the cardiovascular risk factors that can often be improved through a combination of lifestyle changes and, when necessary, medical treatment. Physical activity can help, a balanced diet can help, maintaining a healthy weight can help, limiting excessive sodium can help, not smoking can help, getting adequate sleep can help, and medications can be extremely important when prescribed. The mistake is assuming, I feel okay, so I must be okay. Your heart doesn't always send an obvious warning before a problem develops. Sometimes the first step is simply checking the number stats. Burr 5, relying too heavily on ultra-processed foods. Now we're getting into something almost everyone encounters, ultra-processed food. And let's be clear, one cookie isn't going to destroy your heart. One burger isn't going to suddenly cause heart disease. The problem is what happens when highly processed foods become the foundation of your diet. Think about a typical busy day. You skip breakfast, then you're hungry, you grab a packaged snack. At lunch, you order fast food. In the afternoon, you drink something sweet. Dinner is another convenience meal. And because you're tired, you finish the evening with dessert. Nothing seemed extreme. But look at the entire day. A large portion of your calories came from foods that may be high in added sugars, sodium, refined carbohydrates, or saturated fats, while providing relatively little fiber and micronutrient density. That's where the pattern becomes important. Your cardiovascular system doesn't experience one food in isolation. It experiences your overall lifestyle. A heart-friendly eating pattern generally emphasizes vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, fish, and healthier fats. It also limits excessive amounts of added sugars, sodium, saturated fats, and highly processed foods. So instead of asking, can I ever eat chips again? Ask, how often are chips replacing real food? That's a much better question. You don't need to eliminate every packaged food. You need to stop letting convenience become your default. Try simple substitutions. Instead of sugary cereal every morning, try plain oatmeal with berries and walnuts. Instead of processed meat every day, choose beans, fish, chicken, or other less processed protein sources more often. Instead of soda, choose water or unsweetened tea. Instead of packaged dessert every night, try fruit or plain yogurt more often. The goal isn't perfection, it's improving the ratio. More nutrient-dense foods, less highly processed food, repeated consistently. That's how a healthier eating pattern is built. Number 4. Sacrificing sleep now. We're moving to a habit that many people underestimate, sleep. You may think sleep is simply about feeling rested. But your body uses sleep as a period of recovery. During sleep, your cardiovascular system experiences changes in heart rate and blood pressure. Your body also regulates hormones involved in metabolism, appetite, stress, and immune function. When sleep becomes consistently inadequate, several of these systems can be affected. And that's why sleep belongs in a heart health conversation. Think about the common cycle. You stay up late, you wake up tired. You're less motivated to exercise. You're more likely to reach for convenient high-calorie foods. You drink more caffeine, you feel stressed, then you stay up late again. One bad night isn't the problem. The problem is when the pattern becomes your normal. Most adults need around 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, although individual needs vary. But quality matters too. If you spend 8 hours in bed, but repeatedly wake up throughout the night, you may not be getting restorative sleep. And there's another issue people over 50 should know about: sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is a condition in which breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep. It can contribute to poor sleep quality and is associated with cardiovascular problems. If you regularly snore loudly, wake up gasping, experience excessive daytime sleepiness, or someone tells you that you stop breathing during sleep, talk with a healthcare professional. Don't simply assume it's normal aging. Sometimes improving heart health begins with improving sleep. Number 3, ignoring chronic stress. We're now at number 3. And this one is easy to dismiss because stress is part of everyday life. Work, money, family, relationships, responsibilities, unexpected problems. You can't eliminate every source of stress. But chronic stress can influence your health in ways that go beyond your emotions. When you're constantly stressed, you may sleep less, exercise less, eat more processed food, drink more alcohol, or smoke more. In other words, stress can influence the other habits on this list. That's why stress management isn't simply about feeling relaxed. It's about protecting the behaviors that support your cardiovascular health. You don't need to move to a mountain and meditate for 3 hours a day. Start with something practical. Take a 10-minute walk, practice slow breathing, spend time outdoors, talk with someone you trust, drop down what's bothering you, set boundaries around work, turn off unnecessary notifications, make time for hobbies, and don't underestimate social connection. Human beings aren't designed to live completely isolated lives. Meaningful relationships can provide emotional support and make healthy behaviors easier to maintain. The important thing is to find stress management strategies you can actually repeat. A 5-minute breathing exercise you practice every day may be more useful than a 1-hour meditation session you attempt once a month. Consistency beats intensity. Number 2, not getting. We're now at number 2, and this is one of the most important habits to change: not moving enough. Your heart is a muscle. It responds to physical activity. Regular movement can help support cardiovascular fitness, blood pressure, blood sugar regulation, body composition, mood, and overall physical function. And you don't need to become an athlete. Walking counts, cycling counts, swimming counts, dancing counts, gardening counts, strength training counts. Even active household chores can contribute to movement. For many adults, useful general target is at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity each week, along with muscle strengthening activities on at least 2 days, depending on individual health and ability. But here's the important part. If you're currently doing almost nothing, don't look at 150 minutes and think, that's impossible. Start with 10 minutes, then build 10 minutes today, 15 minutes next week, 20 minutes later. The goal is to create momentum, and strength training deserves special attention after 50. As people age, muscle mass and strength naturally tend to decline unless they're actively maintained. Stronger muscles make everyday activities easier. Getting up from a chair, carrying groceries, climbing stairs, walking, maintaining balance, and staying physically independent so your exercise routine doesn't have to be only cardio. A combination of aerobic activity, strength training, balance work, and flexibility can be useful. If you have a medical condition or have been inactive for a long time, speak with a healthcare professional before starting vigorous exercise. Number 1, treating your health like something you'll deal with later. And now we've reached number 1. This may be the most important habit of all, because it can quietly influence everything else. The habit is putting off your health. I'll start exercising next month. I'll check my blood pressure later. I'll eat better after this vacation. I'll get that symptom checked if it gets worse. I've been tired lately, but I'm probably just getting older. This mindset can be more dangerous than people realize, because cardiovascular disease often develops over years. Not hours, not days. Years. That means the best time to take your heart seriously isn't after a major event, it's before. If you have risk factors such as high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, smoking history, obesity, or a strong family history of cardiovascular disease, regular medical care becomes particularly important. Don't guess. Know your numbers, know your risk factors. Ask questions, and follow through. Your healthcare professional can help determine which screenings and tests are appropriate for you based on your age, sex, medical history, family history, and risk factors. You don't need to become obsessed with your health, you simply need to stop postponing it. Warning, SIGINs, you should never Nanorger. There's another important point. Some heart-related symptoms require urgent attention. If you experience severe or persistent chest pressure or pain, especially if it spreads to your arm, shoulder, back, neck, or jaw, or you develop sudden severe shortness of breath, fainting, or other concerning symptoms, don't assume it's indigestion or stress. Seek urgent medical attention. Heart problems don't always look like dramatic movie scenes. Symptoms can vary, and women, older adults, and people with diabetes may sometimes experience less typical symptoms. If something feels seriously wrong, don't try to diagnose yourself from a YouTube video. get medical help. Now let's put everything together. Let's review the 7 habits. Number 7, sitting for too long. Number 6, ignoring your blood pressure. Number 5, relying too heavily on ultra-processed foods. Number 4, sacrificing sleep. Number 3, ignoring chronic stress. Number 2, not getting enough physical activity. And number 1, treating your health like something you'll deal with later. Notice something. None of these habits is impossible to change. You don't need to become a completely different person tomorrow. You need to make one better decision, then another, then another. Your 7-day heart reset is a simple challenge. For the next 7 days, don't try to change everything. Just focus on 7 small actions. Day 1, take a walk. Even 10 minutes is a start. Day 2, check your blood pressure if you have access to a reliable monitor. Day 3, replace one ultra-processed snack with fruit, nuts, or another minimally processed option. Day 4, set a consistent bedtime. Day 5, spend 10 minutes doing something that genuinely reduces stress. Day 6, add vegetables to your meals. 7, make a medical appointment if you've been postponing an important health concern. That's it. 7 actions, 7 days. Not a miracle cure, not a detox, not a crash diet. Just 7 opportunities to take your health more seriously. Your heart doesn't know whether today is Monday or Friday. It doesn't know whether you're motivated or tired. It simply keeps working, beat after beat, hour after hour, day after day, and you don't need to repay your heart with perfection. You need to support it. Move your body, eat mostly nutritious foods, sleep enough, manage stress, avoid tobacco, limit unhealthy habits. Know your blood pressure and other important health numbers, and stay connected with your healthcare team. That's what prevention looks like. Not one dramatic action, thousands of small decisions. Final message, if you're over 50, don't make the mistake of believing that your best years for improving your health are behind you. They're not. Your body can respond to positive changes at many stages of life. You can become more active, you can improve your diet, you can quit smoking, you can improve your sleep, you can manage your blood pressure, you can build strength, you can reduce your risk factors, and you can start today. Not next month, not Monday, today, because the most powerful health decision isn't always the biggest one. Sometimes it's simply the decision to stop postponing the next healthy choice. Call to action: if this video gave you something useful, like the video and subscribe to Health Clarities for more science-based content about heart health, healthy aging, nutrition, and longevity. And tell us in the comments, which habit are you going to change first? Sitting less, walking more, eating better, sleeping longer, managing stress, checking your blood pressure, or finally scheduling that appointment you've been postponing. Write your answer below. And if someone in your family is over 50, share this video with them. One conversation could be the reminder they needed. Thank you for watching Health Clarity. Stay healthy, stay informed, and take care of the heart that's been working for you every second of your life. Medical disclaimer: this video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease and should not replace individualized medical advice. Health recommendations vary according to age, medical history, medications, and individual risk factors. Consult a qualified healthcare professional for personalized guidance. If you experience symptoms that could indicate a medical emergency, seek appropriate urgent medical care.